Hello everyone. So in today's video we are implementing ensemble model, and in this video we are using random forest as an ensembler model. The data on which we are implementing our model is a pre-processed data of diabetes, and to download this data you have to just uh, go through Kaggle website and you will find the data there. Let me show you the link. So here is the link of the site. So just enter this URL into your browser and you will get the data. Here is the CSV file, just download it and we pre-process the data. So if you don't know how to pre-process, just have a look at our previous videos. After pre-processing, all you have to do is to get this data in this coding part. So we pre-processed our data and now we have a pre-processed CSV of diabetes. So now we will implement our ensemble model, that is random forest. So before we start this coding section, I want you to get a brief info about what random forest is. So as you can see in this image here, what random forest does, it creates multiple trees. So as you can see, we have this X as a data set, and now this data set we implement number of trees here. So this is our first tree, this is our second tree, and there are n number of trees here. So what random forest does, it will create multiple trees from a single data set, and then the one which is giving us maximum accuracy, the random forest will return us that particular tree. So it is a kind of similar to the tree classifier, but in this we are creating multiple trees in random forest, and the one which is having maximum accuracy, we are using that particular tree. So you have a question in your mind that how we are creating multiple trees. So let me tell you how this is done is we are keep on changing the root, and root is any feature that we have in our data set. So we keep on changing this root, and for some root for some particular feature as a root we will get the accuracy, and the one which is having maximum accuracy we will select that feature as our root, and then we will pre-process our data on that particular tree. So this is all the logic behind random forest. Hope you get a little bit of knowledge about how random forests work at backend. So now we will switch to our coding section, and here you can see we have our coding part here. So let me describe this coding section for you. And also I want you to know is that random forest is one of the popular algorithm that is used in classification. So this one is also important for you if you are implementing a classification model. So let's start our coding section. So here you can see we import pandas. So before importing you must have to install pandas into your system, then import pandas. Then using pandas.csv you have to import the file, that is pandas.preprocess.csv. After importing this file, you have to check that whether you access this file correctly or not. Also, when you access this file using pandas.readcsv, this will convert into a data frame. So it returns us a data frame and we save it into df variable. So why we are using data frame? Because we can easily manipulate and work on it if we have a data frame. So here we check our data frame that whether it is correct or not. So we get the data frame as we want. But here we have a unnamed 0 column which we don't need, as it does not contribute to our model. It is just an index number. So using del df unnamed 0, this is a delete variable here. So using this we will delete our unnamed 0 column. Then we will check that whether it is deleted or not, and as you can see after printing this data frame we have our top 5 rows. To get this, if you want to get all your data, you need not to mention head here. all you need to do is to print data frame, and if you want to just check that whether you import your data correctly, just assign dot head here and you will get the top 5 rows of your data set. So in this, as you can see, we successfully deleted this column, unnamed column, and now we have a data frame on which we will implement our model. So before implementation, we have to convert our data into two sets, that is features and labels. So feature are basically those column on which we will predict our outcome, and label is our outcome. So as you can see, up to 8 till age column we have to put all of it in our feature, and the outcome we have to keep it in our label variable. So using iloc here, first we have just mentioned the column, so it means we are selecting all the rows, and then column name means we are just taking column up to 8. So starting from 0 is for pregnancy, 1 for glucose, and later on we will know that outcome is the 8th column. So we have to access up to 8, means we have to access till age column. So using column name we get the data frame till age, and then we save our outcome column in labels. Then we just check that whether we assign labels and feature correctly. We check it by using simple print function, and here you can see we have data in our features till age column, and outcome column we have, for the outcome column we save it in our label variable. So here we just print it, and yeah, we are okay, and we done. We successfully divide our data into features and labels. Now after dividing, we have to split our data into training and testing set. So to do this, you have to import train test split package, and to import it you have to use sklearn.model selection. After importing this package, you have to send some parameters into the function. So the first parameter is feature, the second one is the label. We above assign both these variables here, and the third one is our test size. So test size is 0.3. So what it means is we want that 30% of our data is in test and 70% of our data is in training. So training means we want 70% of our data on which our model is trained, and then 30% of our data on which we will predict the values and check the accuracy of our model. So here we just print the shape of training and testing data. So here you can see we get the desired result. Now we switch on to our model. So to import random forest classifier, you have to use sklearn.ensemble. So to import this, all you have to do is just assign sklearn.ensemble and import random forest classifier. Then just assign random forest classifier to a particular variable here. So as you can see, you have to pass a parameter. So here I am passing an estimator 30. So what it means is 30 times it iterate the tree. So we discussed before how trees are formed in random forest. So what it means here, an estimator 30, it basically means we are building 30 trees, and we will select a tree from those 30 trees. Which one gives us better result, we will select that particular tree. Then we will just fit our training and test training data into the classifier, that is random forest classifier. So here we just use .fit function in random classifier, and we will fit our data into this. So here you can also see an estimated 30 that we assigned above. So these all are the parameters. So if you want to explore these parameters and their definition, just go through the link. You can search it on Google. So let me show you. just type sklearn random forest, and here is the sklearn.org site, and here you can check the variable with their definition. And as you can see, we have here we assign right now. We will check where an estimator is, and here you can see this is a definition of an estimator, the number of trees in the forest. So if you want to explore more, you just have a look at this page and you will get to know more about these parameters. So you can change them and manipulate your random forest by yourself. So let's come to our coding section now. So here you have to pass the training set, and you can train your model here. So after executing this statement, your model is now ready to predict the values. So to predict the values, we will send features test dataset into the model, and to predict the values, we use .predict method in our classifier model. And here you can see we print the values, and these are the values that are predicted. So 0 is for that the person is not having diabetes, and 1 is that the person is having diabetes. So after printing these values, all we need to do is to check with our actual data. So this is our predicted value. We store all our predicted value in label prediction variable. And now we will check this predicted label prediction variable with the actual variable. So here you can see to check the accuracy score, you have to import accuracy score from sklearn.metric. So after importing this accuracy score package, you have to send two parameters in this. The first one is the label test, and the second one is the label prediction. So label test is a set which you define here. So it contains all the data, testing data, 30% of your data. And the label prediction is the value we predicted after our model is trained. So to check the accuracy score, you have to just pass these two values into accuracy score. And here I printed both the accuracy of our model, and as you can see, we are getting 77.06% accuracy. So I hope you understand and gain some knowledge from this tutorial. This is all in this video. Hope you like it. Thank you.